good evening, wherever you find yourselves in Gotham City. This is Gotham by Night. Tonight we return to three individuals who have been through a lot these past few nights and have gone through quite a few changes, so to speak. Tonight they find themselves, for whatever reason, at the Gotham Museum, an ancient, old building, one of the oldest in the city, and one of the few untouched by renovations in the newer age part of the city. The museum is very large, 3 stories, spanning quite a few blocks. The museum often stays open late at night for unknown reasons, but the exhibits there are many and great to look at. We now take our scene first to William, who the previous night had lost control. And for a man like William, losing control is not a good thing.
William would be his reason for being in that museum is mostly boredom, and he needs somewhere to think because of what happened and what his mentors told him that Tatiana might be a vampire. So he's just there to think about what has happened.
Mm. And then we go to the detective, Mr. Andrew Zillick. The last few nights have been a little bit stressful for you. You've had a lot of paperwork to fill out since that night.
Well, mass shootings lead to paperwork, especially public robbery, and leads. The Civic Center was helpful, uh, parenthetical, I'll assume. So maybe the museum is his next step. Or maybe it's just, like William, a chance to sit down, take a breather, and reflect.
Mm. And last, we have Dalton. The past night has not been good to you, my friend. Death is not a pleasant experience for your kind. Nonetheless, you've pushed on a little bit past of what your previous night entailed to you, and now you find yourself here at a very strange place. Public place, nothing that should be out of the ordinary. But to you, it is most certainly out of the ordinary.
I feel like Dalton came to this place because it is a public place, but it is also far away from that place where he met two very real monsters that wished nothing more than to hurt him on a deeply psychological level and possibly more. When he walks to this building, what is a museum? A museum is a place where a lot of old things are kept to be gawked at and sometimes researched. Old things from history have memories, have echoes. Dalton can see those echoes, and that is why he came there. He followed the trail that others cannot see.
Indeed, he did. Tonight at Gotham, there is a new exhibit. It is an old piece of equipment that has been given its own section of the museum. It was used in a very famous incident that happened in Gotham when a terrorist attack happened. It is a machine designed to turn water into steam, in other words, liquid to gas. It can turn a whole surrounding area of liquid into gas by rapidly heating the water molecules. This allowed the terrorists to institute a biological weapon into Gotham City's water system. Nonetheless, many years ago it was stopped, and henceforth it now has a place here at Gotham Natural History Museum. There are a lot of people looking at it and poking, prodding, asking questions. You notice that even though this building is set in between the high technological new city of Gotham and the old ruins of the old world, there are many of culture here and many who are wealthy. Nonetheless, it is public. It is not a private access showing. However, some of you notice that there are some fairly wealthy looking figures here. One of them in particular appears to be none other than, for those of you who have the local lore, none other than the multi billionaire Bruce Wayne. Currently standing very still, not talking with any of his other associates of higher class, but just staring at the device. He then looks over at you, William, and he says, "Old thing, dark days of Gotham, but I suppose it has a place here."
William's just gonna look at him and go. He's just gonna nod and say nothing for now. Why are you here, Mr. Wayne?
Oh, I'm just here to supervise some of the new exhibits. I did pay for them after all.
Hmm. Do you do that often?
Well, I consider it my job to kind of reinstitute the city, if you know what I mean. William, make me wits plus stealth, please.
Wits plus what? Sorry?
Stealth.
Stealth. On. I got 2 hits.
2 hits. Victory goes to the defender. Kind of looks at you with a tilt of his head, and he just kind of seems to shake something off. Says, "Well, Mister, what was your name?"
I'm William, Mr. Wayne.
Ah,
William McGillivray.
William, good to meet you. Well, I best be off and go mingle with the others before they wonder where I am.
Uh, I hope you have a good time here, Mr. Wayne.
Of course. With that, he leaves. Andrew, you get a phone call.
A phone call. All right, well, he'll reach into his pocket, open up his, turn on the screen and answer it.
The number is question mark, question mark, question mark.
He'll answer it cautiously.
Hello, detective.
Well,
Quickly, quickly, before your time runs out, if you wish to see all the people in the museum stay alive, what is something to someone but nothing to anyone else? Clock is ticking, and then you literally see a little timer start on your phone for about 2 minutes.
oh Jesus. Um, if this was any other silly, if this was any other city, I'd think you were joking. What would this be? Something To- What was the riddle? I'm assuming this is a riddle.
What is everything to someone, but nothing to anyone else?
What are the chances that Andrew has read this riddle before?
Roll me a
As he does have advanced.
I know. I'll go ahead and freeze time. I'll be nice here for just a sec. Roll me an intelligence. Academics.
He does have a eidetic memory, but I mean, either way.
You have eidetic memory.
Yes, he does. An advanced version of it, for that matter.
Okay. Roll me 3 extra dice, please.
Fair enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up down here. First of all,
It is the mind. That's the answer.
that would be my mind, obviously.
Timer stops. Phone rings again.
Oh boy. He answers it this time.
Well done, detective. You have gained the first riddle point. Now, let us wait and see what happens next. I'm sure you'll like this one. Be ready for other riddles that will come up. And the phone just stops. It's at this point William, Andrew, and Dalton. The lights in the museum go out.
So much for reflection.
Dalton takes out his phone and uses his flashlight on it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people panic. Some look around. Some are like, oh my God, what's going on? The security of the museum do their best to keep the people occupied and busy and calm. They slowly start to escort everyone out.
With
Oddly enough, hold on. Oddly enough, when security starts to escort people out, they don't even look at you three. Everyone just gets escorted out, and you're all 3 of you left in the middle of the exhibit room. The only 3 in the room.
Well,
Dalton
Andrew,
is going to try and leave.
I'm assuming Andrew would recognize Dalton.
How so?
Well, if he was the officer who responded, then he would be very
Very
familiar.
true. Yes, you came to the scene and saw an unfortunate young man hanging, appearing a suicide in a burlesque club. But he's quite alive now, if somewhat pale and got deep bags under his eyes and appears to be massively spooked.
Indeed, normally, for mortals, this would cause a delirium or a madness effect. However, Mr. Andrew is not a mortal.
And knowing family resemblance, yeah,
You,
he would have a inkling of why the unfortunate young man is still moving around. He would have no idea how that works, but
you'd know what I am, but you wouldn't be able to see my imaginary friend, let's say.
indeed, indeed, he would have no
Indeed,
current
Andrew.
way of seeing a
He
geist.
he appears to look like some sort of specter, a geist, if you would.
Well,
Dalton is immediately going to try and get to the exit.
You go to the exit, and Andrew and William, you both watch Dalton as he goes to the door. The steel support doors that slam down almost crush you, Dalton.
Oh,
The
William is
other
going
exit,
to run to Dalton and see if he's okay.
you came very close to getting slammed down by a security door. Solid
oh.
steel.
Uh, and he'll start banging on the door, um, and trying to get the attention of the guards outside.
The the other two exits then slam shut with the same solid steel doors.
Takes one look at the kid, takes one look at the other kid. Well, this can't be a coincidence.
He's just gonna glare at Andrew, William, and then he'll activate his wolf senses, and he is going to try and hear what the fuck is going on outside.
Roll me a perception alertness. Or
Okay.
sorry, perception primal urge because you're a wolf. Fucking A.
Perception and what?
No, wait. I'm sorry. Fuck. Perception. Yeah, perception awareness, right?
Okay. I'm going to spend an essence to activate home senses.
Okay. Nines and tens will explode.
Mhm. And I only need 3 success to get exceptional. Let's see. Wow, I only got 1. Damn
Yeah,
it.
one. Nonetheless, you did get one. You can smell a funny smell that you can't really identify.
Mhm.
And there are digital display screens all around the room that were displaying information about the device, and then they all go black, and a green question mark appears on each screen.
Uh,
And
that's just
it says, "Hello, citizens of Gotham City. You three have been chosen to partake in my newest experiment."
Experiment.
Indeed. After all, I was testing this on mortals, and it proved to be quite ineffective. But testing it on you three may prove to be much better results. Now then, the room that you are now standing in is filling with a toxic nerve gas that, even for those of you who are, shall we say, much more hardy than the average human, you will die within minutes. Find the way out. And then the clock starts ticking on the wall on the screens. It says 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
William is going to try and find the source, like the vent that is pouring the gas, and he is going to try to plug it with his jacket or in other stuff that can be used to like try to
Okay.
help
This this
decrease
will this
the.
this will be a combined roll. William,
Mhm.
Andrew, and Dalton all roll me intelligence or wits plus. I'm sorry, perception plus awareness, or you can roll wits or intelligence plus academics.
Mhm.
So there's a few rolls you can make here.
Awareness isn't a thing.
I mean, whatever the. I'm sorry, wits plus composure. Sorry.
Okay.
Perception.
wits and composure is better.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Can I add my own senses to this or no?
Yes, you can.
3 successes.
Very good. Next, we've got one.
I wouldn't use that hone senses too often. You might puff in a bit too much too
It,
quickly.
I
it's
have
for one scene, so I can just see.
a success. Um,
4 successes. 5 successes.
while this is going on, Andrew does have an idea to get them out. It would might possibly be difficult, but he could do it.
Indeed. You all got the threshold, which was 5 hits. A lot of you start to kind of look around. Actually, everyone with exception of Andrew. Dalton, you and William both notice glowing green question mark, what appears to be glow paint on
Mm-hmm.
certain areas. Like some of them are on vents, and then some of them are on like little statues.
Mm-hmm.
If you go over to investigate, you can see little tiny canisters that are releasing small amounts of gas into the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. William is going to try and stop. Well, not stop. Like decrease the amount of gas that's it's pouring out with his clothes. Like just try to
hmm
block it at least.
Yeah. What you actually realize is that a lot of these canisters you could actually they're squeeze open, like you unloosen them like you would a CO2 canister, and you
Mm-hmm.
can squeeze them back off. So some of these canisters you find you can squeeze shut.
Okay, I'll just do that.
I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'll do so cautiously and with my hands covered with my jacket.
Excellent.
I'll try not
So
to breathe as much as well.
indeed, you're both able to hold your breath and shut off the gas. After
Are you okay there?
Yeah, it smells bad. How do we? These things are steel. How are we gonna get out? Why is he doing this?
Oh, for the same reason I imagine most uh, criminals do bad things. A moment, and I do believe I can get us out of here.
Okay, if you think you can do it safely.
Dalton, really quickly, Andrew, before you make your declaration, or William. Dalton,
Hmm. I can't. I need to use my head.
there's no response. Dalton, you hear a little whisper come from the door that almost crushed you.
Uh huh.
It says, "Hey, over here."
Dalton's head immediately snaps over to that direction.
Andrew, go ahead and make your declaration. Whatever it was you were planning.
We can't
So
hear
you
you
were
through
you
speaker.
you you were you were planning to use the sound of silence. I understand.
Yeah.
That is a very deadly tactic.
Hmm.
Yeah, Andrew, we cannot hear you at all. So I will go to
Oh,
William.
sorry.
Yeah.
I just didn't say anything. Um, Andrew was going to attempt to open a pathway to his lair.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your dice.
The thing is, I'm not entirely sure which ones there are. However, I know it's easier if he imposes two different traits. The two that I can immediately think of is the fact that the exits are closed, which literally the exits are closed, and two, I'm assuming it's dark in here.
William,
Um,
make me another. As you're doing that, Andrew, William, make me another wits plus composure check.
I just don't know if there's a cost to it.
I think it's willpower. opening the pathway or something.
I got one.
You hear something out of the corner of your ear, William, but you can't tell what it is. You just swore you heard something, but you just can't put your mind on it. Too much is happening. After a few moments, the screens turn back to green question marks, and the voice returns. And over the loudspeaker. Well done, my new subjects. Well done indeed. Now you just have to figure out how to get out of the room. Good luck.
Does Dalton see any imaginary friends? Not including his own.
You focus for a long moment. You think you see a girl, maybe 12 to 15, standing over by the corner of the door, looking very pale and distraught. She waves her hand to come over, and she disappears.
So here's the thing. Um, as a sin eater, I see the physical world and the kind of ghostly world superimposed on one another. So she can't quite disappear because I see both at all
Indeed,
times.
you see her go and walk through the door.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, he'll run over and kind of like extend an arm out and say, "Wait!" But to you, other people, probably didn't see her.
Hmm. Andrew, go ahead and spend a willpower and make me your roll.
Okay, let me make sure here. Okay, yeah, the cause is 1.
Dalton.
If it's 2, that'd be 2.
And I'm gonna
3. All right, fine. So it's 2 for traits and 1 for ending in the layer itself. So it's +3. So it'll be wits and resolve +3.
Watch as this one defies reality.
watch is this one what?
No response.
No, I as a person did not hear that.
Oh,
He says, watch as this one defies reality.
Oh, okay. Does this voice seem to be coming from my imaginary friend?
it would seem so.
I can't
Okay.
believe that failed. I'm actually shocked. That's 9 dice and
Spend
not
a
a
willpower?
single success.
Andrew, you reach out and you try to open the layer. Something's wrong. It's very difficult to open a layer here.
May I take
Not
a
sure.
dramatic failure just to make it interesting?
Oh,
Yes. All right, Andrew. You take a dramatic failure. Go ahead and give yourself a beat. You feel your mind reach out to the layer, and something reaches back. You feel as if though your body and mind are being pressed down with a 10,000-ton weight. You feel your body being crushed and broken and destroyed. And you feel yourself being eaten alive by something in the darkness that you can't see. But no, you're standing there. You just tried to open your lair. You're in the room with 2 others. You're breathing. You're alive. You're fine. What was that? Take the condition paranoia. This will last 24 hours. You feel cold sweat break out over you, Andrew. It's hard to focus. Your vision itself is hard to focus. Everything seems blurry. There's a ringing in your ears. You feel as if though you just had a heart attack and you've woken up from it. By the way, Andrew, for the next 24 hours, take a -1 to all rolls.
Oh, lovely. So, one moment, Andrew is looking rather focused, as if this place really doesn't bother him all that much. And in the next one, he looks absolutely terrified. What the hell? What the actual? Hold on. That wasn't supposed to happen. None of that was supposed to happen. What?
What do you mean?
And he just sits down for a second.
What do you mean defies reality? I don't understand. Where is the girl?
Everyone stay calm. It's just your imagination.
No,
William,
Hmm.
You should eat. I'll taste it. You can do it in a second. Do it. Do it, William. Give me control.
Get out.
On them. Show
Go
them.
away.
Show them the true hunter. Show them the spirit of the wolf.
They haven't done anything.
the voice subsides.
The girl. What happened with that?
She has not come back. However, Dalton, you notice, and your other compatriots do not notice this. There is a small, square-like glowing line. It's like basically like someone drew glow-in-the-dark chalk on the wall next to the door, and it's in a square shape.
Is it green by any chance?
It's actually white.
Is it plasm?
A little bit, yeah. There's some there.
The portion that the girl ran through, did she leave behind any plasm at all?
She did.
She did. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Dalton is going to investigate the green thing, not the green thing, the uh, chalk glow thing. But there is something I want to do after. But one at a time, he's going to investigate further what this chalk thing is.
Chalk appears to be a glowing square. It's actually not chalk because you're the only one who can see it. You reach out and you kind of touch the lining area, and you feel something kind of give way. A secret compartment.
To the eyes of the others, does it look like my hand is phasing through solid material? Or is it actually just my imaginary friend telling me that there is something hidden?
You seem to think the latter was the most likely.
Okay. Okay, I will investigate this secret compartment, but I will be very delicate and careful because I don't know what is in there.
In the secret compartment, you can see an electronic fuse box with a lot of old gears and kind of a weird lever system. It looks like the old, if you had to guess, maybe the old mechanism for the door for the museum, since this museum is very old and they've merely renovated it the past 100 years.
Um, Guys, I think I found something. Alright, we don't have a lot of time.
William will walk up to Dalton. What did you find?
I found this. It's like a fuse box. It looks old and there's wires and things. I'm not an engineer, so I don't really know how to do things with this, but like do you know how to do anything with that?
Dalton,
So,
hold on a moment. I have something to say to Dalton, then you guys keep going.
Mhm.
Dalton.
Fear the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Say, I that voice is very difficult for me to hear. Then again, I am hard of hearing IRL. Something about sheep's in clothing?
It said, fear the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Okay. Not now, please. Sorry.
William's
Yes.
just gonna look at Dalton and he's gonna say, "Focus. We'll get out of here soon enough."
Yes. Maybe it's the gas. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
stay
either one
calm.
of you engineers?
I might know how to deal with this. Give me a second to think. Can I use larceny and to use to fuck with the electronic box or whatever?
You may.
Uh, what would you want me to roll with it? With which attribute?
Intelligence.
Okay.
So is Andrew still under the delusion that something is out there trying to get him?
Oh yeah, that's a
For
dramatic
24
failure.
hours. Yeah.
2
Great.
successes.
He's going to grab Dalton and drag him away from whatever he just did. The whole putting his hand in the wall thing. Get
Let
back.
me go.
You have no idea what's out there.
Calm down. Calm down.
You shouldn't be messing with it either.
Stay calm, everyone. It will
But
be
you
fine.
don't understand.
It will be fine. William's just
done
gonna
this.
glare at Andrew right in the
I've
eyes.
done this 10 times
Stay
before and it was
calm.
fine and it didn't work. So no, it's not fine.
Please let go of me.
Well, okay, several things are happening here. William, roll me an intimidate check. Andrew, roll me a Ritz plus composure.
Fuck, I got nothing on intimidate.
That will you can
That is the
use
worst woofer ever.
that would be wits actually that would be charisma plus intimidation, and then Andrew you will roll Ritz plus composure.
Charisma. There
Charisma's not a
is
thing. Do you mean
no charisma.
Doy, I'm sorry. I'm still thinking cold wad. Sorry. I mean hold on, my
Presence.
computer.
Present.
Presence.
The
Yes.
force of your personality.
I'm sorry.
Ah, damn it. I failed it.
And what was I rolling?
Wits plus composure.
All right, fair enough.
I'm sorry. My mistake. You're rolling composure flat.
Oh, just composure.
No, what? I mean, you can if this is different for what it is. That sounded very rude.
This is different. He's going to be doing composure just flat.
Oh, so it doesn't just take away from his dice pool?
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Oh, interesting.
2 separate rolls.
Wits and composure and then just composure?
No, just composure flat. Period.
Okay, all right.
Also, William, would you make me your primal urge roll, please? Just flat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't botch at least.
Yep, I failed it.
Okay.
I also failed.
William, you're getting a little bit angry.
Uh-huh.
Oh, despite evidence to the contrary, I guess that's not quite enough. Still, fun role play, either way.
Yeah. It kind of looks like William is sort of growing a tiny bit. But he's kind of trying to stop himself from changing because he
Andrew.
doesn't want anything to happen to these people.
Andrew, you hear something. Have a little speak with you.
What are you doing? You know it's coming for you. Hide, you fool.
Oh, this is just the session of all the spookiness. Let's see.
If you don't let go of him, Dalton's going to try and elbow you.
Oh, Andrew, let's go. Sorry, he pulls him back, and assuming Dalton let him do that, then he would let go of him.
He will back away from you fearfully and then kind of seek protection from behind William.
Look,
Everyone stay calm.
I was just trying to help, kid. Like a few days ago, you weren't in such good shape. I didn't want to see you get hurt, all right?
We need to get out. We just don't touch me. We need to just stop speaking. We need to start looking. We need to start doing.
William, you managed to get the mechanism working with those successes. The
Mhm.
door very slowly opens. However, this is an old mechanism. You have to turn the lever by hand. Roll me a strength plus athletics.
Shit. Okay. Let's see. Strength athletics. That's pretty good. Fine. Whoa! Holy shit!
Oh, shit. So, William, you crank that thing so hard it just breaks. But you're able to
God
get the door.
damn
But
it.
you're able to get the door open still.
Okay.
You see, actually, I'm going to point this out to the others. Andrew, Dalton. Well, Andrew, you already know what he is. But Dalton, you see him bend solid metal and rip it off as if he did it by accident.
He kind of puts his hand over his mouth and backs away from William towards Andrew this time. And kind of like murmurs to himself over and over again, wolf in sheep's clothing, wolf in sheep's clothing, wolf in sheep's clothing.
William's just gonna glare at Dalton when he starts murmuring it over and over again.
By the
And
way,
he's gonna shake his head and just,
Mhm.
come on, let's get out of here.
I mean,
by
is
the
he
way,
wrong?
William, that stops you.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to smell something about Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Just smells off. With your knowledge of the supernatural and the occult, he doesn't smell like human. Neither does
Yeah, and
Dalton. Neither does Dalton now.
William is going to remember the thing that the voice said about how humans, he was testing the thing on humans, and now he wanted to test it on whatever we are. Just
Yeah,
gonna, he's just gonna glare at both of them. Stop dillying and get out of here.
you hear from behind you, William. Freeze! All three of you on the ground now. You see security pointing their guns at all of you. About 3 or 4 security guards.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do what they say.
They said, "You'll get on the ground now." Okay.
Can Andrew flex the fact that he's a police officer while
Oh yeah,
obviously complying?
yeah. When they see you, they're like, "Oh, Detective Zillick. Sorry, sir. What's going on? The security was hacked."
What's going on is that we have a villain messing with the building.
Yeah, sir. We've evacuated, but we got a
You
signal
evacuated everyone except for us.
we didn't. Zillick, how long have you been in here, sir?
Out of
It's
character, how long would have it been?
How long? It's been a half hour.
Okay.
I mean, a half hour at most, but that's 29 minutes too long.
So he kind of looks at you and he's like, we didn't see anyone else in here, sir.
I was banging on the steel, screaming.
We couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, that doesn't. If this was any other city, I'd be surprised, but I'm really not.
You gotta love Gotham. William's gonna stand up while looking at the guards. Can I put my hands down now?
Yeah, you're all of you are free to go. Yeah.
And he'll make room for Dalton to leave because he assumes Dalton wants to get out now.
Yeah.
You don't and then the expression on Dalton's face becomes very confused. You don't want our reports? You don't want us to come in and tell our side of the story? Why did you take 29 minutes to get here?
All of the officers look at you, and one of them says, what? He stops. They all stop in unison, perfect unison. They holster their guns and walk away.
That's not normal. That's not right.
No, none of this has been normal.
You're with them, though.
No, I'm not.
William is going to walk towards to one of the canisters and is going to see if he can take it
Yeah.
and see if he can find any traces like I don't know, something on there that he can track. He used to track the whomever put it there.
You get a little bit of a scent, but nothing much.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. Are they real?
Yeah, the security guards were real. Humans, mortals.
So I can't find anything on the thing even within possible score.
You
Oh,
want
no,
to
no, no.
sniff the biochemical?
No, I'm not, I don't need to sniff it. I can see like literally from radio waves or cellular
Yeah, he can also see
Damn.
spiritual. He can
trail.
also, yeah, he can also see spiritual residue.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you'll eventually be able to find that, William. You'll just have to make some rolls and
yeah.
focus on it for a while.
We need to leave. We need to. I'm not done. And it's this fear seems to have kind of flicked a switch, and it became like man on a mission, tunnel vision, has one goal, to hell with anything else. And Dalton kind of looks at both of you and says, both of us, both of you and I are leaving, but we're going to have a talk.
William's just gonna shake his head in disbelief and will start walking.
You almost run headfirst into this woman. Oh my! I'm sorry. Are you all okay? Security seems to have
No,
just left us.
Us.
Is this
We,
what villains are capable of in this city? Hmm.
I wouldn't know. I've just arrived not too long ago.
He pulls out his cell phone
Hmm.
and he's kind of menacing her with it for some particular reason. Like, Dalton's already flipped a switch, yeah, but now Andrew kind of also goes in the other direction and he's kind of like stabbing the phone in her direction. I was just called by a stranger who asked me very strange questions. And then when I even got the answer right, he was able to lock down the building, flood the place with some sort of poison gas, and had enough influence to pull everyone out except the three of us. And you're telling me you just got here?
No, I've been here for a while. I was stuck in one of the other exhibits. Steel doors, right? All came down. Creepy clock started counting down. Right? Sound about right?
Yeah,
is
sounds
there
about right.
is there any like plasm or something like on her, around her?
Okay, I will tell all three of you because all three of you will see stuff. William,
Mhm.
you smell rot.
Oh,
Andrew,
great.
Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
this is a mummy. Dalton, you sense death residue around it. Yes.
Must be powerful then, if that's the case.
Hmm.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you're safe. Like, do you need to go to the hospital? You didn't
Oh,
breathe too much of it in, did you?
no, no. I'm fine. Let's all get out of here, though, shall we? This is creeping me out.
Fresh air
Yeah.
would be wonderful.
You all proceed onward out of the museum. It's very dark, quiet. After all, if you've been in a museum this large, abandoned, with no lights on, it's very creepy indeed. You feel as if though the shadows creep around you, start to slowly consume you, like you were part of a soup. Everywhere you look, Dalton, everywhere you look, you think you see something there, but no, nothing's there. Andrew, you hear little tiny whispers here and there. Sus, sus, sus. Very quiet, very barely audible. And William, all the while you smell that tingle sensation of your nose that you know that happens when the supernatural comes to life. But none of you are attacked, none of you are assaulted, but this walk from the room of the exhibit to the exit of the museum is very long and very agonizing. And this woman, although friendly, appears to have something off about her as well. Nonetheless, she does you no harm and aids you in finding the way out. But that walk, although maybe only 10 minutes at most, felt like hours. Once you hit the exit of the museum, you feel the cool night air. A small drizzle has started. It is a breath of fresh air, as if though all of you were being suffocated and are now no longer being suffocated.
I'm I'm sorry. What was your name?
Oh, you can call me Carrie Lafont.
Harry. Okay.
I, I,
I'm Dalton. Um, are you sure you're okay?
oh, I'm fine. I I know this is our first time meeting, but I run Lafont Industries. We sell computers. You should, any of you ever need electronics or whatnot, you should come by.
After the couple of nights after the week that I've been through, I might need some security measures. So I will seriously think about that.
Indeed, we're funded by Wayne Industries, so you know our security is good.
Oh, um, how did you find the canisters? How did you get out?
Oh, I got lucky. My door didn't shut all the way.
Oh,
I had to kind of pry it open with a crowbar, and that took a bit, but eventually I figured it out. By
I
the way,
was almost
would all of you roll me a wits? Let me see. A wits.
insight, you mean? I'm assuming
Yeah,
that's where this is going.
yeah, but I'm looking for the right skill for it.
Socialize, empathy.
Yes, let's do wits plus empathy. All of you.
Okie dokie. Zero.
Wow.
He's had far too a frightening a week to really kind of pay attention
Uh,
to small
all
nuances.
of you think she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you got trapped in the room full of crowbars.
Oh, flip, I forgot. I have a specialty for that. Is it another die or no?
No, that's just tens explode. Yeah. So she kind of looks at you and she's like, "Well, there was a storage closet in my area. That's where I got the crowbar from. I got lucky."
Um, please be careful. The police, something's not right with them.
She kind of looks at you a little bit odd. Then she kind of gives a little smile. She said, "Well, yeah, police are kind of worthless in the city. No offense, detective. You do your job properly, but a lot of your colleagues are, well, let's face it,
No, I
not."
meant like when they came to arrest us. I don't know why, but when they came, they claimed that they couldn't hear me, but I was banging on a steel door, and there were so many things that they were saying that weren't making any sense, and I confronted them with it, and they just, in complete unison, stopped speaking, adjusted their posture, put their guns away, and left like they were robots.
Carrie kind of looks at you and then raises an eyebrow and says, "Really?"
So please, please be careful.
I don't know what could cause it, but if this villain, whoever they are, was able to release gas in the museum, they might have influence elsewhere.
But influence to such a degree that they I don't know if anyone can do that.
You'd be surprised, dearie, what the night holds.
I'm beginning to believe that.
Well, I should be getting back home. It's been quite an eventful night, and I really need my rest. Detective,
Yes.
William, Dalton, you all take care
It,
now, and let me know if you ever need any security.
yes,
Wait,
yes.
how did you know our names?
Well, I'm going to assume Andrew might have been wearing something with his name on it, but
Well,
Dalton said what his name is, but you never said what yours is.
indeed, William never said his name. Dalton and Andrew both have identification. In other words, Dalton announced himself, and Andrew has his badge. William, you have not said anything about your name.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
You didn't say anything about your name. You're the only person that she shouldn't have known, and yet she still did.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton, I was gonna say something when she left, so we can have that conversation when she's gone.
She turns your back to her all, and then she turns around the corner. And Dalton,
Yes.
actually, all of you notice this. Well, maybe. What's plus composure? All of you.
All of
What's
you?
plus
Even
composure?
if it's like death related? Because I can just see that.
Uh, Dalton. Yeah, you'll see that. Let me go ahead and have the others roll though.
Alright.
That is a good point. Dalton will notice this, but the others can roll for it. Wits plus composure.
Oh, neat. You
Okay.
got an exceptional success.
Oh,
Well
oh,
done.
oh, hell yeah, dude! Way to
That's
go,
where it
guys.
comes in.
Dude, everyone knows this. You see where she was standing? A little bit of sand.
Andrew will stoop down, pick it up, or at least gather a little bit of it,
Mhm.
and attempt to pocket it. Maybe he has a leftover napkin or something he can wrap it up.
Oh, sure. I'll say that you have a little bag you can put it in. Dalton, on the other hand, is the only one that knows this little fact. Dalton, that's not sand.
Oh,
That's ash.
Ash.
Human remain ash.
Oh, is it imbued with plasm by chance?
Yes.
Okay. Is she gone now?
Yes.
Dalton will swiftly make his way to Andrew and kind of tap him. Detective,
Yes.
can I see what you just picked up really quickly?
Hmm. It looks like just sand, but I'm looking to confirm a theory. What do you need from it?
Well, what do you think it is? What is your theory?
I don't know how I know this, but something tells me that woman was a mummy of sorts.
A mummy, right? Yes, they exist.
Dalton.
Mm,
And so the ancient dead walked the sands of Egypt to never age and never leave the mortal plane.
when that voice comes through to him, um, Dalton immediately kind of like freezes, like not seizes, but like you can see that he just becomes as rigid as a board, eyes wide, pale, um, and very frightened. And when the voice kind of fades away, he'll kind of like look at his imaginary friend that people can't see, um, with like with kind of amazement and horror in his
Your
expression.
your friend is standing there smiling wickedly at you.
Mm.
You know, kid, you should get used to that.
Well, since it seems that you two, well, all three of us have been through I suppose, a very traumatic event, why don't I treat you guys some sushi?
Hmm.
We do have things to talk about.
It would be interesting to meet the
Maybe that
wolf
will help
mother.
calm you guys.
Would be interesting for what?
It would be interesting to meet the wolf mother.
The Wolf Mother. All right.
William is gonna glare at Dalton again.
Um, I would love that. Thank you. We can talk about how that sand. It's not sand.
Hmm. Could have beat me.
It's
So,
it's not it's not safe to talk about that.
mhm, as you all proceed to the sushi bar, which I assume you guys are all going to, Andrew, since you're still suffering under paranoia, keep looking behind you. You swear there's someone following you and watching you. You swear it. You know you saw someone. There's got to be someone following you. Why are you sweating? Why is it so hot out here? It's raining. It's cold. Why is your heart beating so fast?
And he'll kind of break off from the group for just a second, to kind of backtrack, approach a
Your,
corner.
your breathing is heavy. You see in the corner of your eye a spider sitting on a windowsill on one of the buildings you're leaning against. Just a little spider, black, little black bulbous body.
And he will lean around the corner.
Lean
Slowly
around
at
the
first,
corner.
and then quickly.
You lean around the corner and look down the alleyway. You don't see anything. However, your hand that's leaning across the building, you pull it away and you feel something sticky on your hand. And you look, you can see what looks like webbing.
Cobwebs, and kind of rub his hand off on his suit and head back to the group. I know it's out there, whatever it is.
Perhaps there is something out there following you. Perhaps It's just the wind. Nonetheless, you all proceed on to the sushi bar to talk about what it is you want. When you arrive there, you find William's mother, a very beautiful, striking woman. Um, she looks like. Let me go ahead and get out her thing. If I can ever find it. William's mother looks like that. And she says, William, welcome home. I see you brought some friends. I can treat you all to some dinner. The shop's now just about closing.
Oh, I don't mean to burden.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. We've had the last amount of customers coming in for today.
Um, I'm I'm Dalton. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I'm Rachel.
Hi. Um,
I
you
didn't
seem.
I didn't give William my don't let the names confuse you. William is my adopted son.
Oh,
We've
and
been through some very interesting events a few moments ago.
Oh, well,
yeah,
what happened? Are you all right?
terrorist attack.
Oh my. Well, sit down, relax. You enjoy yourselves. Well, let's have a discussion about it.
I I'm not entirely sure that's accurate, but it wasn't normal. I'll give it that.
Well, at the very least, you can sit down and have a spell, so to speak. And she'll get you guys stuff, and you guys can sit down and talk about the night. But before we end this session, the camera pans to a somewhat dreary yet somewhat off toy store.
It's lovely. I'll have you know the hobgoblins just mopped it for reasons.
Not more than 5 minutes ago, Mr. Nevermore,
Hmm.
you receive a phone call.
There's that wonderful moment as he is fixing a music box. Just saying. Delicately, intricately, piece by piece, fixing a music box. That, the head kind of pops up. It's got one of those, wonderfully over the top, like brass kind of almost goggle like glasses that has the kind of the optic that has like piece after piece after piece after piece of glass gradually getting smaller. But he kind of sighs ever so slightly, reaching out a hand like, "Nope, that's not the phone. Nope, nope, that's the cat." Before he eventually picks up,
Meow,
"Yes."
meow. You pick up the phone and you hear a voice on the other end. Ah, I was wondering when I would get this number. Mr. Nevermore, how are you today?
Well, that's an interesting question. How am I? I am existing. And who might you be? My apologies. I've been somewhat discombobulated.
I am an enigma, and you, my good sir, will make a great test subject. Testing will begin in 5, 4.
I immediately drop the. I drop out of line of obvious sight from any window in the room, just like
All
whoop,
right. Yep.
taking cover.
3, 2, 1. And then immediately there is a crash through your front window, and you see 2 canisters almost like smoke grenades, come in and start filling up the room with a gas.
The thing he says into the phone is just very oddly. This is not very neighborly at all.
Roll me a. Take a quick look at the sheet here, so I don't get terminology mixed up again.
No worries.
Roll me a. Yeah, roll me a stamina plus athletics.
These are dice. I do not. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I need to get his dice. These are dice. I think he's shit at, but it's fine. Nothing could what could possibly go wrong. Yep. I now have his pool.
Yep, there will be 2 dice pools. One will be stamina athletics, and then I'll have you roll willpower after that.
Okay, so that is stamina. I think he does have at least a dot in athletics. He does, in fact. I was not that dumb. All right, I'm going to spend a willpower for those 3 extra dice because, good God, I need them.
All right.
So that's going to be that. Wow. You do tens count as 2 successes, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, so
Well,
that's
if you're specialized.
okay. In that case, no, he just has the 3 successes.
Okay.
And willpower, did you say?
Yes, flat willpower, which would be one less now because I think you just spent one.
Oh, does it go by totals in this game, or does it go by dots? I actually don't know the answer to that.
If you spend it, yeah, it goes by what you currently have. So if you spend
Okay,
it,
cool.
it gets lower.
2. I don't know if you spec in willpower. If not, if it is 3. If not, 2.
It would be 2. Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. This will only last because you got 2 hits. This will only last for maybe 15 minutes. What would you say Mr. Nevermore's greatest fear is?
But that's an interesting one when you're a creature who deals in fear. What are
Exactly.
you actually afraid of?
Exactly. What is there to fear but fear itself?
Somehow I'm getting the idea of a perfectly normal, quiet, ordered, utterly silent room. And
No, Nevermore's fears are very. He does have them. Hmm. Yep. His great fear is going to be reliving the day he was dragged into Arcadia, because obviously that is a terrible experience. But also for Nevermore, it was incredibly horrific because he was dragged away from his family and never saw them again until he saw them again, and that was even worse. So he will relive that.
Indeed, he does. And he relives that for, well, in real time, only 15 minutes. In his mind, he relives it a lot longer.
He kind of he's interesting when it comes to experiencing his own fear. He doesn't like scream or rave. He kind of just sits on the floor in that kind of very tight, kind of compact position, with his knees up as far as his nose. He just kind of sits there and kind of with his legs clasped. And as he does this, he takes out a knife, and he just starts carving into the floor, just almost like one hand is doing it independently as he just starts to break. He just starts, he writes the word, he carves the word enigma into the floor, and then he just starts stabbing at it whilst tears run down his face. So, yay, broken changeling.
After the agonizing amount of time that you had to relive that horrible experience, eventually the phone that you have dropped, a voice comes in on the sound of basically the phone lying on the floor. And then it starts to scramble like it's an old computer 80s monologue voice, and then it finally cuts into a more distinguished audible voice. And then it says, "Well done, Mr. Nevermore. You have been a grand part in this experiment. I thank you for your cooperation."
He stands up. He takes out a handkerchief. He cleans his face, and he picks up the phone and he says, "Oh, I'm so happy to have been of service, and one day I hope that you'll be able to return the favor."
The voice says, "Oh, most certainly.
Yep, I think I can do this. I'm going to spend some glamour.
Go for it."
He has made a deal with me, and I bind that deal.
All right.
I believe that cost me 2 points of glamour, but in some way, in some time in the future, he is going to owe me that.
Yep. Yeah. The man on the other side of the phone, whoever it is, will owe you that.
That could be equally horrifying. It's fine. But Nevermore at this point, he walks outside. He does the. It's really that wonderful thing of when you're clearly an autopilot. He does the thing where he walks. He closes the door and he locks it behind him, despite the fact there's a giant hole in the window. He doesn't even seem to register the hole in the window. It's fine. And question: was my house the only house that had things done to it, or were there other houses as well? Or as he walks
Um,
outside, basically.
Nearby, you don't know. None really near you per se, but I guess if you really looked into it, you might find some. You're not sure.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna actually do a thing because basically, in order to actually get me to where the quote unquote PCs are, he's just gonna start walking, and I am subconsciously, more so than consciously, he's going to activate a contract, which will incur a point of this. Is the contract he literally just bought the 5 XP that we just got, or some of the XP anyway.
Hmm.
It basically, I'll read out what it does. It's a goblin contract, so it will incur a point of goblin debt for me.
Hmm.
It is. Where's it gone? Blah. Sorry. Yeah, it's called Goblin Luck.
Yep.
The changeling bought a wishbone, blah blah blah. He can make a basically, it essentially gives him exceptionally good luck. He can make a random guess with a finite number of possibilities exists. It pays off. He can win $25 on a scratch ticket, or pick the right street of four his quarry might have fled down. This contract only grants small. Basically, he's going to use that contract to basically influence where he goes as he walks the streets of Gotham. So essentially, it will subconsciously guide him to where he should go.
Okay. I'll say that as this has happened, the sushi conversation has taken place. William, Dalton, and Andrew, is there anything you wish to discuss before one of you needs to depart?
Um, I mean, I would try to speak with this woman about how the three of us were stuck in a museum and there was a terrorist attack that employed a gas.
Hmm.
Um, and it was very much like Jigsaw from the horror movie Saw, but much
Hmm.
more scary because it's real. And he kept using weird words like mortal, and I heard voices, um, maybe because of the gas, but um, wolf mother and wolf in sheep's clothing. And then I started seeing weird patterns on the bricks of the museum.
She, Dalton, she does something very odd. She sticks out her nose and sniffs.
Like
Dalton,
reclines back in his chair, like
Dalton, that's right. I think there's someone I would like you to talk with. And she hands you what looks like a business card.
Okay. Is it a doctor?
The name on it is Patrick, and it seems to be investigator.
Okay. That would be really good.
Why don't you go talk to him? His office is open 24/7.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Take care.
Um,
No worries. Take care, Dalton.
yeah.
I'll watch these two, but you should go speak with him. Since this event that happened to you is very recent, he has experience with stuff like that.
Um, okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit afraid of going out on my own.
Oh, I think I can actually send someone with you. Fear not. And you hear her kind of whistle around the corner. And go ahead and get. You see this man come out from around the corner.
Hmm.
He says, "Oh yeah, oh, am I doing escort duty?" And then she looks back at you. And she's like, yeah, could you walk this man to uh, Patrick's office, please? He needs a little help with his problem." Man kind of looks at her and goes, yes. Gives her a wink. She rolls her eyes, and he's like, "All right, I'll be your escort."
Okay. Just before I go, I just want to warn you about something. Um, there is something not quite right in Gotham. I mean, what's new? But this there
He
was
uh as you're walking out the thing, he puts his arm around you, just kind of in a friendly uh, grasp. He says, "Dalton, there's something wrong with all of us."
that makes me feel incredibly safe. Can you please not touch me?
Oh, sorry. Takes his hand off.
I just wanted to warn you that there is an incredibly dangerous individual that was not actually. That would make a lot of sense. Yes, yes, we should probably get to the investigations office.
He seems to look behind him down the street. Then he continues to walk with you towards the investigation office. And after they leave and get about a block, William, you see your stepmother look at the door, and she
Hmm.
says, "By the brat snap cracking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Mr. Nevermore, you may enter the scene in the sushi bar."
I like how I'm wicked. I'm lovely. The door will open. This is a sushi bar, is it?
Hmm.
You know what? Mr. Nevermore was walking. As I said, he's kind of just walking. He turns down alleyways and down main thoroughfares, left, right, up, down, zigzag, back, forth, but without any real conscious thought. More so, just kind of letting his feet lead him. So eventually, his feet will lead him to the door of the sushi bar, and he will push open the door because this is clearly where Providence said he should go. That and they've got a $9.99 dinner special. Hmm.
Indeed, and actually, the real reason it sent you here tonight was because normally it's a $9.99 dinner special. Tonight, because it's a solstice, $7.99.
Ooh. I mean, being cheap is totally how you speak to people. So yeah, he pushes open the door. Who in here is gathered?
You see William, Andrew, and this woman.
Oh, I do beg your pardon. If this is a private function, I'll quite happily show myself. Though I was intrigued by the dinner special.
Oh, nonsense. You can have the dinner special if you wish.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, I'll just close the door. Yes, that makes sense. He closed the door behind him. Wonderful little have you been here long? I've never seen this place before.
Oh, I've been here for about 2 years now.
Ah, good to know. Good to know. By the way, as soon as he enters, it will just be easier if I roll for all of you because it triggers a clash of wills, so he can see what you actually are if you're anything weird or googamy. Because it's a contract thing. It's called Goblin Eye. Goblin Eye, oh Goblin Eye. So, because we've got what? Yeah, no, you know what? I'll do the Clash of Wills, and then we'll see. So, yes, do you want me to roll for each person, or will I just roll in general and then they can roll to oppose? I don't mind, whichever.
um, roll for each one.
Okay, cool. In that case, I'll go from left to right on my screen.
What do I roll for that?
It's actually a good question, Evan. What do they roll for that?
Every splat rolls Clash of Rolls slightly differently. So in my case, I roll a finesse stat plus my weird. Um, so hang on, are these two mages or what are they? Because they all roll different things.
There are 2 werewolves and 1 beast.
Okay, the beast is your lair stat plus a resistance stat because we just did that, or a resilience stat because we just did that earlier with Joey. Um, the 2 were things I think is a once again I don't know this off the top of my head, so this could be wrong, but I believe Austin mentioned it was a power stat plus your what's the werewolf power stat in this game called? It's like it's not gnosis
Uh,
anymore.
Primal
it
urge.
says on the book, you roll your primal urge plus your dots in renown that you are using apparently. So I guess
Okay.
All right, so in this case, for the dude who's playing Rexford, this is my roll against you. I see through, so I'll do these each one at a time. For Brandon, this is my roll against you.
blah blah
Uh,
blah.
that is,
You see. You see
yeah,
through.
I think I do, yeah. And the last one is for the last person. Do, 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 do. That's 5 for the last one.
That was just all the luck gone there, isn't it?
So,
All right,
so
so basically,
Mr. Nevermore sees 2 werewolves and a beast.
well, basically, in theory, to actually do this correctly, I have to ask a question. So he'll just ask each one of you, what is the true nature of your magic, which will give me the answer what you are, if that makes sense. So beast, werewolf, beast, or werewolf, werewolf, beast. There. Oh, fascinating. I met some of your. I don't know the politically correct term earlier. Hello.
It's not often that I get one of the Fae stepping into my bar.
We tend to step very lightly, you know, 1 foot here, another foot there. But where are my manners? By the way, what was she? Is she a werewolf or a were
She is a
creature or
werewolf. She is a werewolf.
He extends his hand. People simply call me Mr. Nevermore. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, dear lady.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr. Nevermore.
Does she shake the hand?
She just stands there and looks at you.
Okay. He'll kind of do that thing of, you know, where you leave the hand out for an uncomfortably long period of time before going, okay then.
What a very weird night this has been.
I would argue that normality is the lack of normality makes for an interesting evening,
William,
Mr.
She
William.
she looks over at him and she says, "Don't give him your full name and don't shake his hand and don't make any deals with him either."
oh worry not, dear mother, I never do.
You see, in theory, by the fact that you've just given away a familial relationship, you've already given me something. Just to let you know.
Indeed. And I can give you an equal piece of information about me if you'd like, if you want to balance it out.
I'm not here for deals and tribulations. No, no, no. Fate said that I should be here. Oh, my apologies, sir. I didn't get your name.
Officer Zillick, and he will shake this one's hand because he's curious about the younger siblings, whatever that means.
Pleasure, 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 Mr. Zillick. Oh, one of Gotham's finest, are you?
I am trying. One moment, attempts on my life with poison. The next, attempts on my life with kindness, I see.
I'm not making any attempts on your life. Of that you have my word. I swear it once, I swear it twice, and I swear it thrice. And I can't break those.
Uh,
No. More so, as I said, I came here this evening because, well, poison is an interesting phrase. It would seem as though you and I may have had a very similar night.
and his slight smile sours to one more serious of expression. Really, this is getting better and better.
Unfortunate, terrifying, but needless to say, it's a damn good question and an even better enigma.
It's at this point, the television that was somewhat blurred in the background, although now that you're all there, you can kind of hear it a little bit better and a little bit more focus on it. It comes on and it says, "This just in, welcome, citizens of Gotham. This just in, the Riddler strikes again. The twisted vigilante known as the Riddler has been known to kidnap victims and put them through rigorous and utterly quite insane tests of torture and various implements. The Riddler is still at large, and he believes to have been struck again tonight. The Gotham Museum of Natural History was found to have several of his calling cards, known as green question marks, labeled throughout the city. We also found a few spray painted on several Gotham City national monuments. Be it note that well, his name is the Riddler. However, he was once called Edward Nigma. And it's at this point that you see the TV kind of start to static a bit. And you all look up at the TV and you can see a green question mark appear on a black screen. And on the screen it says, "Riddle me this, Gotham citizens, and you may just survive a bit longer. The 8 of us go forth, not back, to protect our king from the foe's attack. You have 5 minutes, Gotham. Send me your requests now to this number, and you may survive."
He's talking about pawns on a chessboard. Fascinating. You almost think that my kind were exceptionally good at riddles and riddles and wordplay. Don't tell anybody.
Does anyone pull out a phone and text that answer to the number?
William is
Andrew's
going to
already
shake
been,
his. Sorry, go on.
Andrew's already been in contact with this madman before, so yeah, he'll borrow the answer from Mr. Nevermore.
All right. You text the answer, and the clock immediately stops on the screen, and then it says, "Well, well, well. It seems that Gotham is not full of imbeciles after all. Well done, Gotham. Step 1 completed. More riddles will come soon. But I'll give you a little bit of a hint as to what might happen. You know what they say. Uh, a little a little hint is always great, but you're all just boring me." That's all he says.
He's really quite clever.
Boring. What's he talking
This
about? Tunneling?
this guy is starting to get on my nerves. I think I'll step out for a bit. He'll look at his mother's eyes and nod.
So, William, you will step out, and are you going to go hunting?
Yep, I'm gonna try and find this asshole.
Okay, roll me.
Uh, my
Actually, hold on a sec.
uh,
Um,
there's a role for tracking, which was
well, no, you gotta do something else first.
okay,
Roll me your intelligence plus primal urge.
okay. 0 successes.
Okay, so spend a gnosis because you
You
failed.
mean essence?
Yeah, essence. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
spend an essence because you failed,
Mhm.
and you will sidestep,
Mhm.
and you will go hunting. You will, because this is your mother's territory, you will find the energy, so you
Mhm.
will be able to regain that essence you spent.
Mhm.
And I will say you will go do the hunt, and we will definitely do that scene because there will be some fun stuff for that.
Mhm.
But for now, we go back to the sushi bar where Andrew and Mr. Nevermore, after about a few minutes, uh, Andrew, you see a mailman come running through the door. Hey, is Andrew Zillick and a Mister and then he looks down at the letter, uh, Nevermore here.
What time is it?
It is now 12 o'clock at night.
Does Andrew have his firearm on him?
Yes.
Good job, Paranoia. He is going to take a step back from this crazy person, and he's going to begin barking commands.
Whoa, hey,
Just to clarify, am I the crazy person?
no,
Okay.
the mailman who came in.
The mailman.
Congratulations, Mr. Nevermore. The mailman is more crazy than you. Um,
Hooray!
the mailman throws up his hands. He's like, whoa, hey, whoa, stop.
Leave that on the ground and back away slowly.
Okay. I'm going. Easy.
And also, while you're at it, pass me that hot duck sauce.
Who gave that to you?
He looks around. He looks from the duck sauce to the letter. In fact, he can't figure out
A
which letter
letter,
to follow.
obviously, not the. Ignore him.
Oh, look, look, it's a hard job. Okay, I mean, I had some guy call me, he paid me like $500. He said, just go deliver this to this address. That's all I did, man. I'm not even on duty.
He puts it away. It's like, all right, I'm sorry. Kind of a hard night.
Hey, can it go, man?
Yeah, get out of here.
After you pass me the hot duck sauce.
he takes the hot duck sauce and he throws it at you.
Excellent. I will put out, I am eating my $7.99 dinner special. By God. Continue.
It is, Mr. Nevermore. It is a very, very delicious dinner special.
Hooray. It's made even better by hot duck sauce.
Andrew will approach the letter.
You approach the two letters. One of them says Andrew. The other says Nevermore.
$500 in the middle of the night. Ugh. I hate the city sometimes. You'd think someone who was crazy would have more to do with their time than whatever he's doing. Blowing up the city, boring into the city, poisoning the. Uh,
Nevermore kind of he finishes the last of his duck spring rolls, made infinitely better by hot duck sauce. And he kind of hops down from his chair, and he walks towards the letter, and he says, "Don't you see? You have to think about it like this is a game. Ultimately, he's not mad in the sense of traditional garden variety psychopath. No. We're pieces, and he's moving us, and he's moving his own pieces. This is a game that has rules. Rules are always very important."
well, I suppose someone is going to eventually flip the table. But sadly, it's not going to be me. And
Also, I'm going to make another little assessment for you because I'm not sure if the Gotham's finest have caught up on this. You're well aware of the fact he can currently see us, right?
and now he has Andrew's attention.
Think about it like this: your friend was here a few moments ago. Yes, well, about 10 minutes ago. I have had my dinner special, and yet there's no letter for him.
Give the man a cigar.
I'm supposed to be the one training to become detective, and you're the one pulling all of this stuff out of your backside, but I can't really argue with you.
So that suggests to me either he can see us or knows where we are. So, that's interesting. Uh, oh no, it appears that the mailman is quite good. Though I think you may have had him piss himself. That's an interesting state of affairs.
Uh,
Well,
from the smell, that's what it seems like.
I'm gonna reap the glamour from his terror because I'm gonna just.
Sure thing.
Oh,
Um,
wait a minute. How bad was that? Because I might have just. Now that I think of it, I might have just gone a step too far.
You did cause fear.
Fear or a breaking point?
you cocked a gun in the poor guy's face.
I will roll his willpower to see if he hit a breaking point. He did not.
Fair enough.
My
That
goodness.
was not really Andrew's intention, but either way,
However,
the
the next step
kind
is.
of chamber would that have been? That'd have been bizarre. Okay, never mind. He will reach for the letters.
Would you like me to make sure that they're not going to explode?
I would like to make sure they're not going to explode, but I don't really have the tools to do so. And besides, you said this was a game after all, yes? Rules? Pieces?
Well, I was going to say I do have the tools to make sure that we live through the process. If you'd like me to use them.
Go right ahead.
Very good. So basically, what he does is he takes out. He's wearing a really long kind of, unlike the picture, he's wearing a long coat over his shoulders, and he reaches into his pockets. And he starts to do that really comedic effect where you just start to take all kinds of random baloney out of your pockets, like nope, 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 I don't need that. Ooh, an original copy of the Sears Almanac, dated 1957. Huh. But eventually, what he does is he comes out with a number of tools, and I'll spend the requisite glamour to do this. Basically, it's a little contract called. I'll get it. It has a really weird name. It's like something's incredible workshop. It basically means I count as having the tools to do whatever I need
Yeah.
to do a task.
I'll go ahead and save you a bit of time. You do your thing. You do the right. You do the contract. Um, there is no explosive. There is nothing there's no poison. There is nothing that is going to do anything. By all you can see, they are ordinary envelopes.
Cool. In that case, what he does is the last thing he removes is a very nice letter opener, and he opens one, and he will open. He'll hand it. Actually, you know what? He'll hand it to the police officer and be like, "Yeah, feel free. They're not going to explode."
Okay. So as you open the letter, congratulations, and of course, Mr. Nevermore, this will not actually be a contract. However, it will be worded like this.
Mhm.
Congratulations. As of receiving and opening this letter, you have agreed to play the game. Gotham City will face its darkest hour unless its citizens can solve the riddles, find the puzzle pieces, find all of the connections to the device, and put it together, and then figure out how to use it at the right time. Can you do it? Can Gotham's upstanding citizens prevent their city from being destroyed? We will see. Your first clue is this, and down below it says this. Go ahead and actually post that in the comment section so I can actually post stuff on the thing.
Is that the I'm spherical but not a soccer ball thing?
Mhm.
Okay, let me have a look. See.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that
I
was pretty easy. Holy shit.
Yeah,
actually,
it's the moon.
yeah. Let me put it in the general chat.
Mhm. Question: ST, does Gotham have an observatory?
Damn, I didn't even get to the second riddle, and you're already getting it. Yes, it does.
Sorry, one thing you'll learn about. I'm really good at word games.
No, it's great. I'm happy.
Apparently,
Yes,
you've picked the perfect splat for it.
Right.
Yes, Gotham City actually has a very large observatory, and it actually has one of the world's largest telescopes.
Well, he's talking about the moon. Fascinating. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, this time I do believe we're on the same page. Although I'm not sure where the almanac came from.
Well, 1956 and the Sears Company. Keep up.
Hmm. All right then, the moon. Do we send this in, or do we go looking for a piece?
I sense that this has become more of a scavenger hunt. So, we have to go to the moon, or rather, we have to observe the moon. The observatory is probably our best bet.
Okay. I take it you all proceed to the observatory.
Madam, where's your strapping son gotten himself to? He seemed like he'd be useful to interpose between myself and physical violence.
My son is dealing with another issue that has come up. He will be unavailable for this little escapade you're going on, I take it.
Very well, very well. He looks at the police officer and he says, "Now then, I have only two questions for you. One, do you drive? And two, would you rather get there much quicker than driving?"
Oh boy.
I certainly drive.
Would you like to get there much quicker than driving? Yeah.
I have a feeling it would be interesting.
All right then. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, fuck it. Why not? So, question: is there a mirror in this room?
Um, yeah, behind the bar. Like you know
Okay.
you know how some bars have the mirrors in the back.
Yep, I just need to get the dice pool I need for this. This was the other contract I bought with my XP because it's funny. He says, right, now that you're going to need to keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
I'm just gonna start
Nevermore
singing.
air
I'm just gonna
Nevermore air
start.
does not compensate.
I'm just gonna start singing the song Willy Wonka was singing as they were going through that wash.
What, there's no knowing where we're going, or know where the river's
Yes.
flowing. Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so that's a shitty ass dice pool for
Madness.
me. Okay. I have to make sure I can do this.
There's no earthly way of knowing. This isn't funny, Mr. Nevermore.
Yes, it is.
You're not even watching where you're going.
Nonsense. This is it. This is an absolute. Hang on, I just have to make sure this is an abhorrent dice roll as I think it is. Yes, this is an abhorrent dice roll. Hooray!
Oh, I so hope you watch. Watch. I want to do something fun. Damn
Nope. So basically, what he does is he says, Mr. Zeplick? Zeprick?
Zelik.
Zek. Right. I've got a question. So he puts his hand on your shoulder. I'm curious, with the current promotion situation in Gotham, what is your opinion of the and he just pushes you through the mirror. He will step through a moment later.
So Andrew finds himself laying on his back. I'm going to presume somewhere near, or maybe even in the observatory.
Basically, it's like that wonderful moment of, have you ever seen any of that thing where, how do I describe it? I'm trying to remember what media it was from. I think it was Labyrinth, where you just saw yourself smashing through dozens of mirrors very, very quickly.
Yep.
Just like in a row of mirrors. Yeah, so basically you will appear coming out of the reflective surface, so coming out of the glass in the front door of the museum face first.
Yep.
Like,
You both. Yep. You both go up.
yep. Like
And
you don't fall forward. It's literally just like you stumble a few steps forward. So there's not like a disproportionate amount of momentum, if that makes sense.
Indeed.
Oh, all right.
And would you both, while you're there in the museum, both of you roll me wits plus composure 2 times? Both of you.
Cool. If it helps, technically, because I'm here with you, it's not breaking and entering, technically, right? Yeah.
Technically, it's not breaking and entering because you didn't break anything, and you technically even didn't enter either.
Roll it twice, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, that's a fail.
2. So that's fail. 1, 2, 1, 2.
And the second fail. Winning!
Your perception has failed. Okay, so
2 and 1 successes.
as you both, I'll go ahead and describe the scene. I'll describe what happens, and then we'll end the scene pretty soon here. You both look around Gotham Observatory, the main hall. It's a very large observatory, spreading in a nice spherical oval shape. The telescope is in the further room, and you can see that some of the areas have been kind of closed off with little mini gates, but nothing really sealed per se. It's very dark, but you can see a lot of the moonlight and starlight and city light come in, and it illuminates most of the area. As you two start to kind of look around, Mr. Nevermore, you don't see shit. Um, but Andrew, you eventually notice something over by the telescope. Ironically, in the seat that a person would sit in while looking at the telescope. It appears to be a little green question mark trophy.
Oh, these again. He kind of takes a step, pauses because he just realized what Mr. Nevermore actually did. So a moment of vertigo, a moment of, the floor is actually down there and the ceiling is actually up there and then gravity exists. And he kind of looks back. That was a mistake on my part.
Oh, and what would that have been?
I think I'll get over it. It's one of those trophies of his again over here. And he kind of 1 or 2 slightly unsteady steps, and then he's back to walking normally. And he's going to get a bit closer.
Get closer to the trophy. It looks like a trophy. And to speed along, if you guys do your whole check thing on it again, it's just a trophy. But it does have
So
a
this
secret.
is one of his pieces.
It does have a secret compartment in it.
Ooh.
If you open it up, the compartment has a key and a little piece of little note or a little letter. The key, and let me write this down, 401, has numbers on it that say 401. And it says, the letter says, do you remember your old days of playing sports, being out there in the field and working hard? Do you remember what it was like to gain that extra yard? Perhaps someday you may well learn. But at this point, your reward in Locker 401 will be well earned. The only question is it Gotham Eastern Station or Gotham Western Station? Perhaps one could start by where Gotham first started.
Hmm. Well, let's go for the simple one here. Out of the two high schools, do they have identical football fields?
You go ahead and make me a intelligence academics check.
+3 from the eidetic.
Yes. You've been doing really good on these rolls. Okay. That'll do it. You know that the western side of Gotham, from what the letter was stating, the western Gotham school is actually the only school that is still up right now because the East Gotham school burned in a fire 2 years ago. And because my time is short and I have to unfortunately go because a lot of things are busy and I will be gone for a few days, the session will end with you two looking over the little riddle there and figuring it out. Andrew, you know that the next trophy will probably be at the Western Gotham College campus. With that, we will fade the scene to black with Andrew and Mr. Nevermore in the observatory, Dalton walking to his sudden realization of a new face that has been told that he can be helped by, and William out on a hunt. This has been another session with Gotham by Night. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Good night.